China is no longer the world's most populous country. That title now goes to India. For many years, China has had one of the world's lowest birth rates and steadily aging populations. By 2050, the number of people aged over 65 in China is expected to double. These demographic and aging trends, combined with rapid urbanization, is driving depopulation in China's remote, mountainous, and agrarian areas closest to wildlife. How will these changing demographics affect the future of conservation in China? Hi, I'm Kyle Obermann, nature contributor for the China Current, showing China's wild side. This is a question that I'm personally fascinated by and is rarely discussed. Since most threats to nature and wildlife come from poachers or development in nature-adjacent communities, and so many resources are then poured into safeguarding against these threats via creating ranger patrols, etc. What happens when the poaching communities and villages begin to vanish or migrate away from the wild? In the last 30 years alone, the rural population in China has decreased by almost 30%. In northeast China, where rural depopulation is common, researchers found that anthropogenic environmental stress within over half the nature reserves has declined and habitat quality improved. Across the country, there is a strong correlation between areas where depopulation is prevalent and land biomass increase. And even in areas where cities have expanded, the negative effect on biomass is low, since urban centers are often only expanding into areas of pre-existing cropland. Now, the average age in rural agricultural areas is 53, which is about 10 years older than the average forest ranger that I've been working with. So while the rangers are younger, the average poacher is about a decade older and nearing retirement. Plus, their children are more likely to be living in urban centers, a trend that triggers a chain reaction where the rest of the family from rural areas often moves to the same city as well. So as conservation issues develop in China, plans need to be made to accommodate the long-term trends in China's demographics and human geography. The current threats are still very real, but the intensity and scale of the current issues may quickly decline in the next decade. This will leave leaders with some interesting questions. As poaching and nature reserve encroachment declines, what are the new roles of forest rangers? And if ecotourism is often the main suggested economic livelihood for communities living close to the reserves, how do you sustainably invest in these initiatives in areas that are quickly depopulating?